Imagine hurtling through the void, your spacecraft a fragile cocoon against the infinite dark. Venus looms ahead, not the serene goddess of myth, but a veiled inferno, her golden glow hiding secrets that could unravel the very fabric of life. What if you dared to touch her surface? In that split second of contact, would you glimpse the birth of worlds or the scream of oblivion? The air thickens, the hull groans, and suddenly, you're not just falling, you're being devoured by a planet that breathes fire and crushes dreams. This is no gentle landing, this is a plunge into the heart of a cosmic fury, where survival is measured in heartbeats, and the universe whispers, "Are you ready to burn?" As your vessel pierces the veil of Venus's atmosphere, the world outside transforms into a swirling maelstrom of ochre and amber. The clouds, dense and unforgiving, whip past like the breath of an ancient dragon, laced with droplets of sulfuric acid that etch faint scars on the reinforced windows. You feel the shudder, the heat creeping in like a thief in the night, as friction ignites the sky into a blaze of plasma. This is the entry point, where the planet's grip tightens 92 times the pressure of Earth's surface awaits below. A weight equivalent to diving a kilometer deep into our oceans, but without the cool mercy of water. Your heart races, imagining the stakes, one miscalculation, and your craft becomes a meteor, streaking across the alien horizon. Yet curiosity pulls you deeper. A silent promise that unraveling Venus's mysteries might reveal echoes of our own world's fragile balance. The descent slows, parachutes deploy in the thickening air, and for a moment you hover in limbo, between the stars and the scalding ground. What awaits is not just rock and dust, but a testament to runaway forces, greenhouse gases, trapped in an eternal embrace, turning a once potential paradise into a hellscape. You brace for impact, feeling the isolation, the thrill laced with terror, as the lander touches down on basaltic plains scarred by volcanoes that have reshaped the face of this world over eons. Now, picture the hatch opening, a hiss of equalizing pressure that echoes like a final sigh. You step out, or try to, in a suit designed for the impossible, layers of insulation and armor against the onslaught. But Venus wastes no time in her assault. The heat slams into you first, a wall of 464 degrees Celsius, hotter than the melting point of lead, where even the sturdiest materials begin to soften and warp. Your visor fogs instantly, not from breath, but from the atmosphere's relentless bake, as if the planet itself is exhaling its fury directly onto you. The air is mostly carbon dioxide, thick and unbreathable, with traces of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide that would choke any unprotected lung in seconds. You take a tentative step, and the ground crunches underfoot. Volcanic rock, tesserae highlands perhaps, or the vast plains of lava flows that cover 90% of the surface. But movement is labored, the pressure presses in from all sides, compressing your suit like a vice, threatening to implode the very air pockets that keep you alive. Questions flood your mind. How long until the seals fail? Science tells us the answer is mercilessly short. Within moments, the sulfuric acid from the clouds above begins its corrosive dance, eating away at exposed surfaces, while the heat penetrates deeper, turning electronics to mush and fluids to vapor. Your body, shielded yet vulnerable, starts to overheat internally, sweat evaporating before it can cool. As hypothermia sets in, the landscape unfolds in dim, orange hues. Venus's thick atmosphere scatters blue light away, leaving a perpetual twilight where shadows blend into the haze. Distant mountains, like Maxwell Montes rising 8 kilometers high, pierce the skyline, but up close it's a barren expanse, devoid of water, where any liquid would boil away instantly. Deeper mysteries beckon. Why does Venus spin backward? Her day longer than her year, defying the solar system's rhythm. As you struggle forward, each breath a labored echo in your helmet, the planet reveals its volcanic heart fissures that might belch molten rock at any moment, reshaping the terrain in fiery rebirths. The emotional weight hits. This is not mere survival, it's a confrontation with nature's extremes, where wonder mingles with the raw fear of dissolution. Yet, in this crucible, science whispers truths about planetary evolution, how a runaway greenhouse effect turned a sister world into a cautionary tale. The air grows heavier. Your vision blurs as the suit systems falter under the assault. What if you removed the helmet, defying all reason? In that instant, the pressure would crush your skull like an eggshell, lungs collapsing as if squeezed by invisible hands, while the heat chars flesh to ash before pain can even register. Bones might remain, calcified remnants in the carbonized husk, a grim fossil for future probes. But push further into the enigma. Venus's surface is young, resurfaced by cataclysmic volcanism perhaps 500 million years ago, erasing ancient craters and hinting at ongoing geologic activity. Radar maps from missions like Magellan show corona vast circular structures, where mantle plumes bulge the crust silent, witnesses to a world alive beneath the skin. Emotional wonder surges amid this hostility. Could there be hidden oases, pockets where extremophiles from Earth might theoretically endure? Science says no, the dryness is absolute. Any water long lost to space or locked in minerals, but the mystery lingers, fueling dreams of microbial life in the upper clouds, where temperatures mellow, your steps slow, the suit's joints seizing as metals expand and contract in the thermal chaos. Pacing through this narrative, question leads to revelation. Why no magnetic field to shield from solar winds? Stripping away the atmosphere's lighter elements, it deepens the intrigue, painting Venus as a stripped-down version of Earth, her secrets buried under layers of gas and rock. All builds, not from beauty, but from the sheer audacity of existence here, where lightning crackles in the acid clouds above, and winds howl at hurricane speeds near the ground. Before we step further into the unknown, take a moment to subscribe to Simu Real Stories, so you and I can keep exploring worlds beyond time, space, and imagination together. As the scenario expands, consider the broader canvas. What if landing wasn't the end, but a gateway to unforeseen consequences? Your brief foray unleashes ripples across the cosmos. Probes have survived mere hours. Venera landers from decades past transmitted data for under 2 before succumbing. Yet imagine a human presence persisting, not on the scorched surface, but aloft, 50 kilometers up in the cloud decks. Temperatures hover between 30 and 70 degrees Celsius, pressures akin to Earth's sea level. Here, floating habitats could drift on buoyant gases, cities in the sky where sulfuric acid becomes a resource, not a foe, perhaps harvested for fuel or materials. Tension mounts in this vision. The winds circle the planet in super rotation, whipping at 360 kilometers per hour, faster than Venus herself spins, creating a perpetual jet stream that could power endless journeys. But hidden truths lurk. Phosphine detections in the atmosphere hint at possible biological processes, molecules that on Earth signal life, though debates rage over abiotic origins. Awe swells as you envision colonies adapting, breathing apparatuses filtering the CO2, greenhouses thriving in the perpetual daylight of a slow-rotating world. Future possibilities unfold, terraforming whispers, cooling the planet by shading it with orbital mirrors or seeding clouds to reflect sunlight, slowly dialing back the greenhouse trap. Visual storytelling paints the scene, vast aerostats bobbing like jellyfish in an orange sea, humans gazing down at the inferno below, up at the stars above. Yet, cosmic questions deepen. Is Venus Earth's evil twin? A mirror of what our world could become if carbon emissions spiral unchecked. The parallels chill. Both planets started similar, with oceans perhaps, but Venus lost her water to photodissociation, hydrogen escaping to space, leaving a desiccated shell. In this expanded narrative, your landing becomes a catalyst, sparking international efforts to probe deeper. Rovers enduring the heat, with diamond electronics or nuclear-powered crawlers mapping lava tubes that might shelter future outposts. Emotional layers build. The isolation of such a colony, closer to Earth in distance yet worlds apart in habitability, fostering a new humanity resilient to extremes. Hidden beneath the surface, tesserae terrains hold clues to ancient climates, perhaps fossilized evidence of wetter epochs. Rewriting solar system history, the pace quickens with potential perils, solar flares battering unshielded habitats, acid erosion demanding constant vigilance, or seismic upheavals from below triggering atmospheric disturbances. But wonder prevails in the clouds. Microbial life might float, extremophiles adapted to acidity, offering insights into astrobiology, perhaps seeding panspermia theories across the stars. Visuals cascade sunsets that last days. The Earth a bright morning star in the Venusian sky, evoking homesickness amid innovation. As consequences ripple, humanity's reach extends. Venus as a stepping stone to the outer system, her helium-3 rich atmosphere fueling fusion drives for interstellar leaps. Deeper mysteries call why the retrograde spin, perhaps from a colossal impact eons ago, tilting the axis and reversing the clock. This scenario transforms from personal peril to collective destiny, where landing on Venus ignites a renaissance in space exploration, blending terror with triumph. Now, slow the rhythm, let the echoes fade. In reflecting on this journey, we confront humanity's place in the grand tapestry, a species driven by an insatiable hunger to touch the untouchable, to whisper questions into the void. Venus stands as a sentinel, her scorched beauty a reminder of fragility, how thin the line between cradle and grave. Our existence, tethered to a blue marble, mirrors her lost potential. We teeter on the edge of our own runaway fate, where small choices amplify into planetary destinies. Yet, in this mystery, hope glimmers not in conquest, but in understanding, forging bonds with worlds that challenge our limits. As the final embers of your imagined descent cool, remember, the universe is not indifferent. It beckons with veiled truths, urging us to evolve, to dream beyond the flames. And in that eternal dance of creation and destruction, we find our truest self a spark against the dark, forever reaching for the light of what could be.